Amber Canoy here with Everyday Kentucky at the Kentucky Blood Center with Eric Lindsey. And we've talked about how winter can kind of make donations a little low with the weather, but my goodness, you all got dealt quite a handful this year between all the snow, ice, flooding. How are y'all doing?
Yeah, we talked on the front end that there's always, winter is always a tough time of the year for us when these disruptions can happen, and unfortunately, it kind of came to fruition. I mean, as you mentioned, it's been a brutal winter, specifically in January and February. We had a stretch there in January and February. It seemed like every single week we were getting hit with a winter storm, and we understand there's ramifications for all walks of life, but for us, it has a big impact. I mean, we saw dozens and dozens of drives cancel on us where we're going out to community and collecting blood. Our donor center hours, we try to stay open, but there were days where we had to restrict hours for staffing reasons because, government officials are saying staying off the roads, and just we had overall low donor turnout. And so there was a stretch there about a month and a half where we estimated we lost about 1,400 donations.
So those disruptions, obviously that impacts you, but what does the real impact mean?
Yeah, I mean, it has a major strain on the blood supply. I mean, we count on those donations to supply more than 70 plus hospitals, and so it's felt like since the turn of the year, we have been struggling with across the board, but several blood types it feels like we can't get on top of. I mean, we have been in critical or low supply for O negative and A negative far too many days, and so we've been operating from a deficit. And as we start to get in the springtime, the hope is that we not only can recoup those losses, but just get back in better standing where we're not every day issuing critical and low appeals. So
what would you say to people out there who are hearing this who might feel compelled to give?
I think that the one thing we want to take away from this winter time is, we preach all the time proactive and intentional blood donation. This recent stretch was a great example of that. So, we can't forecast for when the winter storms are going to come, right, but we know they're going to come. We know there's going to be disruptions, and the best way to make it through those stretches is to make sure the blood's on the shelves prior to make sure there's a robust supply. So when operations are disrupted, the blood is already there to serve local patients.
All right, I know they want more information. What's the website?
kybloodcenter.org.
All right.